You pull up to the drive-thru trusting that grilled means healthy, that breakfast gives you energy, and that treating yourself occasionally won't hurt. The reality behind those golden arches tells a completely different story. Registered dietitians and nutritionists are revealing which McDonald's items they never touch, despite the chain being America's most popular fast food restaurant. Fast food is supposed to be convenient and affordable. The worst offenders pack more calories than entire daily allowances, sodium levels that spike blood pressure immediately, and sugar content that rivals candy stores. Nutritionists watch Americans consume these items daily while knowing the cardiovascular damage, diabetes risk, and obesity epidemic. These foods directly fuel. The problems vary by menu category, but patterns emerge clearly. The breakfast items contain more calories than dinner. The treats deliver more sugar than 4 candy bars. The burgers pack artery-clogging saturated fat. The drinks contain addictive sugar loads. Every problematic item uses tactics that prioritize taste addiction and profit margins over your health and longevity. Today, we're counting down the 5 worst foods at McDonald's, according to nutritionists who analyze nutrition labels, study metabolic impacts, and understand what the corporation doesn't want you to know. From iconic menu items with dangerous sodium levels to small treats with catastrophic sugar content, these foods represent what experts actively avoid and warn their clients about. And stick around until the end. We've got 5 bonus secrets about McDonald's that even regular customers don't know. The bonus revelations about ingredient sourcing and preparation methods will completely change how you order at McDonald's forever. Number 5. Bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. The breakfast favorite is a nutritional disaster. McDonald's breakfast biscuit sandwiches are convenient morning options that millions of Americans grab on their way to work. Registered dietitian Best Burger reveals this popular item contains 460 calories, 26 grams of fat, with 13 grams being artery-clogging saturated fat, and a staggering 1,330 milligrams of sodium in a single sandwich. The sodium content is absolutely catastrophic for breakfast. That's 1,330 milligrams of sodium, 58% of your entire daily recommended limit, consumed before 9 a.m. Nutritionists emphasize that starting your day with over half your daily sodium immediately spikes blood pressure and sets you up for cardiovascular stress for the remaining hours. The processed meat compounds the health problems. The bacon in this sandwich is heavily processed with nitrates, preservatives, and sodium compounds that research links to increased cancer risk. When you combine processed meat with excessive sodium and saturated fat, you're eating a breakfast that actively damages your heart and arteries. The saturated fat clogs arteries immediately. Those 13 grams of saturated fat represent 65% of your daily limit before you've eaten anything else. Saturated fat directly raises LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that accumulates in artery walls and causes heart attacks and strokes. The biscuit itself provides empty refined carbs. The fluffy biscuit is made from refined white flour with 0 fiber, meaning it spikes blood sugar rapidly without providing satiety. You'll be hungry again within 2 hours despite consuming nearly 500 calories. The combination creates a perfect metabolic storm. High sodium plus high saturated fat plus refined carbs plus processed meat equals cardiovascular disaster. This isn't breakfast. It's a systematic assault on your heart health disguised as convenient morning fuel. Nutritionists say this breakfast sandwich exemplifies everything wrong with fast food breakfasts. The combination of processed meats and excessive sodium makes it particularly problematic for anyone concerned about heart health, blood pressure, or long-term wellness. Number 4. Chicken McNuggets with sauce. The seemingly lighter option is deeply problematic. Chicken nuggets are often mistakenly thought to be a healthier choice compared to burgers. Nutritionist Best Burger reveals that a 10-piece McNuggets with sauce contains 830 calories, 48 grams of fat, and nearly 1,660 milligrams of sodium. That's 72% of your daily sodium limit in what people consider a light meal. The deep frying process destroys any health benefits. These nuggets are deep fried in oil that's been used repeatedly throughout the day, absorbing oxidized fats and chemical breakdown products. The breading soaks up this degraded oil, turning chicken into a fat delivery system. The sodium level approaches dangerous territory. At 1,060 milligrams, you're consuming nearly 3/4 of your daily sodium allowance. This level of sodium causes immediate blood vessel constriction, raises blood pressure, and strains your kidneys, all from what marketing positions as a simple chicken meal. The preservatives and additives are extensive. McNuggets contain numerous preservatives, texture modifiers, and flavor enhancers that have nothing to do with chicken. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment rather than food. You're eating industrial food products shaped like chicken. The sauces add catastrophic sugar and sodium. Sweet and sour sauce, or BBQ sauce, adds another 10 to 15 grams of sugar and 200 to 300 milligrams of sodium on top of already problematic numbers. That light chicken meal suddenly contains more sodium than seawater and enough sugar to spike insulin dramatically. The portion size tricks consumers into overeating. 10 pieces seems reasonable, but you're consuming 830 calories, more than many full meals should contain. People eat these as sides or snacks, not realizing they've consumed a calorie bomb with minimal nutritional value. The marketing positions this as kid-friendly food. McDonald's actively markets McNuggets to children through Happy Meals, creating lifetime habits of consuming deep-fried, heavily processed meat products loaded with sodium and preservatives. Dietitians consistently warn against McNuggets despite their popularity. The deep-fried preparation, excessive preservatives, dangerous sodium levels, and minimal nutrients make this one of the worst protein choices available. The fact that it's marketed to children makes it particularly problematic for public health. Number 3. McFlurry with M&M's candies. This dessert is a sugar catastrophe disguised as a treat. The McFlurry seems like a fun, colorful dessert option. Dietitian Mary Sabat reveals the regular McFlurry with M&M's contains 570 calories, 74 grams of total sugar, including 62 grams of added sugar and 12 grams of saturated fat. The sugar content is absolutely staggering. With 62 grams of added sugar, this single dessert contains over double the recommended daily limit for adults. Men should consume no more than 36 grams of added sugar daily, women no more than 25 grams. This McFlurry obliterates both limits in one sitting. The calorie density rivals full meals. At 570 calories, this dessert delivers more energy than many complete balanced meals. The calories come primarily from sugar and saturated fat with virtually zero nutritional value. Pure empty calories that promote weight gain without satisfying hunger or providing nutrients. The saturated fat damages cardiovascular health. Those 12 grams of saturated fat represent 61% of your daily limit. When combined with the massive sugar load, you're creating the perfect conditions for metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, and cardiovascular disease. The minimal protein and fiber can't offset the damage. While the McFlurry offers 11 grams of protein and 2 grams of fiber, these minimal beneficial nutrients are completely overwhelmed by the excessive sugar and saturated fat. The ratio is catastrophically unbalanced. The portion size seems deceptively reasonable. A McFlurry doesn't look that large compared to other desserts, which tricks consumers into thinking it's an acceptable treat. The concentrated sugar and calorie density makes the actual nutritional impact far worse than the portion size suggests. The sugar crash follows the sugar spike. Within 30 to 60 minutes after consuming this much sugar, your blood sugar will crash dramatically, leaving you tired, irritable, and craving more sugar. The McFlurry creates a vicious cycle of sugar addiction. The regular consumption consequences are severe. Eating McFlurries regularly contributes directly to type 2 diabetes, obesity, fatty liver disease, and heart disease. The American Heart Association specifically warns against regular consumption of sugar-laden desserts like this. Nutritionists universally say McFlurries should be occasional indulgences at absolute most, not regular treats. The excessive sugar content alone makes this one of the worst menu items. When combined with saturated fat and empty calories, it becomes a metabolic disaster that negatively impacts heart health over time. Number 2. Double Quarter Pounder with cheese. This burger is a cardiovascular nightmare. The double quarter pounder seems like a hearty meal option for big appetites. Nutritionist Mary Sabat reveals this burger contains 740 calories, 42 grams of fat with 20 grams being saturated fat, 2.5 grams of trans fat, and 1,360 milligrams of sodium. The saturated fat content is catastrophically high. Those 20 grams of saturated fat represent 98% of your entire daily limit in a single burger. Consuming nearly your full day's allowance of artery-clogging fat in one meal directly raises LDL cholesterol and damages cardiovascular health. The trans fat presence is particularly alarming. With 2.5 grams of trans fat, this burger contains the most dangerous fat type known to nutritional science. Trans fats are so harmful that many countries have banned them completely. They raise bad cholesterol, lower good cholesterol, and dramatically increase heart disease risk. The sodium level is dangerously excessive. At 1,360 milligrams, you're consuming 59% of your daily sodium limit in one burger. This level causes immediate blood vessel damage, spikes blood pressure, and strains your cardiovascular system significantly. The calorie density provides nearly half daily needs. For many people following 1,500 to 2,000 calorie diets, this single burger provides 37 to 49% of daily caloric needs without delivering proportional nutrition. Those are empty calories from fat and refined carbs, not beneficial nutrients. The cholesterol content adds another risk factor. Beyond the saturated and trans fats, this burger contains high cholesterol levels that further compromise cardiovascular health. The combination of dietary cholesterol plus saturated fat plus trans fat creates a perfect storm for arterial damage. The protein doesn't justify the fat and sodium. While the burger offers 48 grams of protein, that beneficial nutrient is completely overshadowed by the catastrophic fat and sodium levels. You can get 48 grams of protein from sources that don't destroy your cardiovascular system. The portion size seems justified by hunger. People order this burger because they're genuinely hungry and want substantial food. The problem is that substantial becomes catastrophic when the food delivers such extreme levels of harmful nutrients. Registered dietitians specifically warn against this burger due to excessive saturated fat, the presence of trans fat, and dangerous sodium content. The combination puts significant strain on your cardiovascular system and directly increases heart disease risk with every bite. Number 1. Big breakfast with hotcakes. Here's the absolute worst according to nutritionists. The big breakfast with hotcakes represents everything catastrophically wrong with fast food. This single meal contains 1,840 calories, 63 grams of fat, with 24 grams being saturated fat, 48 grams of total sugar with 41 grams being added sugar, and a mind-blowing 2,070 milligrams of sodium. The calorie content is absolutely insane for breakfast. At 1,340 calories, this meal contains over half your recommended daily calories, consumed before your day has even started. For anyone following a 2,000 to 2,500 calorie diet, this breakfast represents 54–67% of daily caloric needs in one morning meal. The sodium is the worst on the entire McDonald's menu. With 2,070 milligrams of sodium, this breakfast contains 90% of your daily limit. That's nearly your entire day's sodium allowance before 9 a.m. The immediate blood pressure spike and cardiovascular stress from this sodium level is measurable and dangerous. The saturated fat exceeds daily recommendations completely. Those 24 grams of saturated fat represent 122% of your daily limit. You've exceeded your entire day's allowance by 22% in one breakfast. This level of saturated fat directly clogs arteries, raises cholesterol, and damages heart health. The sugar content rivals dessert. With 41 grams of added sugar, this breakfast contains more added sugar than men should consume in an entire day, and significantly more than women's daily limits. Starting your day with a massive sugar spike and subsequent crash sets you up for energy problems, cravings, and metabolic dysfunction. The meal composition is systematically destructive. You're getting pancakes with syrup, refined carbs plus sugar, sausage, processed meat plus saturated fat, eggs, more saturated fat, hash browns, deep-fried refined carbs, and a biscuit, more refined carbs. Every single component contributes to metabolic disaster. The portion size seems like value but delivers health destruction. McDonald's markets this as a hearty breakfast that fuels your day. The reality is that it's a catastrophic combination of every unhealthy food characteristic: excessive calories, dangerous sodium, artery-clogging fat, metabolic disrupting sugar, and refined carbs with zero fiber. The regular consumption consequences are severe and measurable. Eating breakfast like this regularly contributes directly to obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and metabolic syndrome. Research shows breakfast choices significantly impact daily eating patterns and long-term health outcomes. The marketing targets budget-conscious consumers. McDonald's positions this as a good value, lots of food for reasonable money. What they don't advertise is that you're getting catastrophic nutritional values that will cost you far more in healthcare expenses over time. The comparison to nutritional guidelines is shocking. This single breakfast provides 122% of daily saturated fat, 90% of daily sodium, 67% of daily calories, and excessive added sugar, all before your day begins. It violates every nutritional guideline simultaneously. Nutritionists and dietitians universally identify this as the worst McDonald's menu item. The astronomical sodium levels, excessive saturated fat, that exceeds daily limits, catastrophic added sugar, and massive calorie load. Make this breakfast a systematic assault on cardiovascular health and metabolic function. Every nutritionist consulted agreed. This meal should be avoided completely. Beyond the 5 worst foods, nutritionists reveal 5 bonus secrets about McDonald's. Bonus secret 1. The healthy salads are often worse than burgers. The salad deception is systematic. McDonald's markets salads as healthy alternatives. Nutritionists reveal many salads contain more calories, fat, and sodium than burgers when you include dressing, crispy chicken, and toppings. The crispy chicken is just fried nuggets. That crispy chicken on your salad is identical to McNuggets, deep-fried, heavily processed, loaded with sodium. Adding fried chicken to lettuce doesn't create health food. The dressings are calorie and sugar bombs. A single packet of Newman's Own creamy Southwest dressing contains 100 calories and significant sodium. Pour the full packet and you've added substantial calories without realizing it. The toppings add hidden calories. Crispy wonton strips, shredded cheese, and tortilla strips add hundreds of calories and significant sodium. A premium Southwest salad with crispy chicken and full dressing can exceed 500 calories and 1,000 mg sodium, similar to or worse than a regular hamburger. The marketing specifically targets health-conscious consumers. McDonald's heavily promotes salads to people trying to eat better. These consumers think they're making smart choices while potentially consuming more problematic ingredients than a simple hamburger. Dietitians say if you order salads, choose grilled chicken, use half the dressing, skip crispy toppings, and don't assume salad automatically means healthy. Bonus secret. 2. The French fries are engineered for addiction. The fries are scientifically designed for cravings. Research shows McDonald's fries are strongly linked to addictive behaviors that lead to overeating beyond hunger or intention. The coating creates addictive texture. McDonald's uses a special coating before freezing that creates the signature crispy exterior. This coating contains sugars and processing aids that caramelize during frying, creating flavors your brain finds highly rewarding. The salt level is calibrated for maximum craving. The salt isn't random, it's precisely calculated to hit the bliss point that maximizes pleasure and creates desire for more. The sodium level is high enough to be intensely satisfying but not off-putting. The portion sizes encourage overconsumption. A small order contains 230 calories and 140 mg sodium, seems reasonable. But people rarely stop at small. Medium and large fries contain 320 and 480 calories with sodium approaching 300 mg. The fries are positioned as mandatory sides. McDonald's actively markets fries as the default side for every meal. The "do you want fries with that?" script systematically encourages adding fries to every order. Nutritionists warn that French fries exemplify how food engineering creates consumption beyond nutritional need. If you struggle to resist or can't stop eating once you start, that's not willpower failure, it's intentional food design. Bonus secret 3. The drinks are worse than the food. The beverage category is catastrophically bad. A large chocolate shake contains 800 calories, 134 grams of carbohydrates, and 20 grams of fat, comparable to entire meals. The high C in sodas are pure liquid sugar. Dietitian Teresa Shank identifies high C lava burst as potentially the worst menu item. A small serving contains 40 grams of added sugar, equivalent to 10 sugar packets. The CDC links sugar-sweetened beverages to weight gain, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, and fatty liver disease. The caramel frappe is dessert disguised as coffee. A large contains 650 calories, 94 grams of carbs, and 84 grams of sugar, with 70 grams being added sugar. That's nearly 3 times your daily added sugar limit in a coffee drink. The portion sizes make consumption deceptively easy. Drinking 800 calories is easier than eating 800 calories. Your body doesn't register liquid calories like solid food, meaning you don't feel full despite consuming massive loads. The marketing positions these as beverages, not desserts. By calling them drinks and serving with meals, McDonald's normalizes consuming dessert-level sugar alongside already problematic food. Dietitians say skip soda, shakes, and specialty drinks entirely. Choose water or unsweetened tea. The smallest size if you must, recognizing you're adding dessert-level sugar. Bonus secret 4. The fresh claims don't mean what you think. The fresh terminology is deliberately misleading. McDonald's emphasizes fresh beef in marketing. Nutritionists point out fresh doesn't mean healthy, doesn't address sodium, doesn't reduce saturated fat, and doesn't change cooking methods. The beef may be fresh, but it's still high in saturated fat. Quarter-pounder patties use fresh beef rather than frozen. Marketing emphasizes freshness while ignoring the beef is still high-fat ground beef that contributes to cardiovascular disease. The cooking method creates potentially harmful compounds. Grilling meat at high temperatures creates heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, compounds linked to increased cancer risk. Fresh beef still undergoes high heat cooking, generating these compounds. The sodium is added after the fresh beef arrives. Fresh beef doesn't contain 500-600 milliliters of sodium per patty. That gets added during preparation. Marketing fresh beef while heavily salting it misleads about health impact. Nutritionists say don't be fooled by fresh claims. Focus on total nutritional profile, saturated fat, sodium, calories, not whether ingredients started fresh versus frozen. Bonus secret 5. The app deals. Encourage unhealthy ordering. The mobile app systematically undermines healthy choices. McDonald's app offers deals and promotions that encourage overconsumption and unhealthy combinations. The BOGO deals incentivize doubling intake. Buy one, get one promotions encourage eating 2 sandwiches or desserts when you'd normally eat one. The value becomes calorie excess and nutritional harm. The meal deals push larger combinations. The app promotes bundles including sandwich, fries, and drink. The combination nutritionists warn against. Bundled pricing makes it feel wasteful to order a sandwich alone. The point system rewards frequent visits. Earning points encourages eating at McDonald's more often than you otherwise would. The gamification creates behavioral patterns around fast food consumption. The notifications trigger cravings and impulse orders. Push notifications about deals create cravings when you weren't thinking about McDonald's. The app engineers opportunities for impulsive, unhealthy decisions. Dietitians recommend deleting fast food apps if you're trying to improve eating habits. The deals seem like savings, but encourage eating more frequently and consuming more food than benefits your health. You've now heard from nutritionists about the 5 worst McDonald's foods plus 5 bonus secrets the corporation doesn't advertise. The pattern is undeniable. These foods systematically prioritize addictive taste engineering and profit margins over your cardiovascular health and metabolic function. The excessive sodium is systematic across the menu. Nearly every problematic item contains 50 to 90% of daily sodium limits in single portions. High sodium enhances flavor in cheap ingredients, extends shelf life, and creates thirst that drives beverage sales. Your blood pressure suffers, so McDonald's increases profits. The saturated fat reaches catastrophic levels. The worst items contain 60–122% of daily saturated fat limits. This level directly causes atherosclerosis, raises LDL cholesterol, and dramatically increases heart disease risk. Regularly consuming these levels leads to measurable cardiovascular damage. The added sugar rivals candy stores. Drinks and desserts contain 2 to 3 times daily added sugar limits in single servings. This drives insulin resistance, promotes type 2 diabetes, contributes to fatty liver disease, and fuels obesity. The American Heart Association specifically warns against these sugar levels. The marketing deliberately obscures health consequences. Fresh claims distract from sodium. Salads hide fried chicken. Breakfast promotions ignore catastrophic profiles. The app gamifies unhealthy consumption. Every tactic deflects from actual health impact. The engineering creates intentional addiction. Fries are formulated for addictive behaviors. Salt hits calculated bliss points. Sugar creates craving cycles. Fat ratios maximize palatability. These foods are engineered to make you want more regardless of health. Better options exist even at McDonald's. Order hamburgers instead of quarter pounders. Choose apple slices over fries. Select water over shakes. Skip breakfast rather than eating 300-calorie disasters. Request no salt to control sodium. Even better, reduce McDonald's frequency dramatically. Nutritionists recommend viewing fast food as rare exceptions, not regular meals. The nutritional profiles are so problematic that frequent consumption directly causes measurable health damage. Share this information with everyone who eats at McDonald's. Friends and family deserve to understand what nutritionists know about catastrophic sodium, dangerous saturated fat, and sugar loads that promote disease. Now, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the hidden menu, and tell us in the comments, which McDonald's item shocked you most? Do you regularly order any of these foods? What's your usual order? Will this change how you eat there? At the hidden menu, we believe in complete food transparency, evidence-based nutrition, and helping people understand the gap between marketing and health consequences. Stop trusting that fresh means healthy. Know what nutritionists know about fast food that systematically damages cardiovascular health for corporate profit.